First, man, we'll start with Drew Sanders. They got him listed at 6'5", 232. 12 games played, 103 tackles, 13.5 for loss, 9.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 1 interception, 6 PBUs. To start it out, man, the simplest way to put it when you talk about Drew, super productive, rangy, athletic, very, very versatile sideline to sideline linebacker or football player. I think that he has a natural nose for the ball, especially in the run game. You watch how he sifts through some of the traffic, man. He finds that football consistently in a hurry. He can cover any running back that you're going to throw out there, and I think he can cover most tight ends man-to-man. When you talk about him in the zone dropping element, I think he's elite in that vein. That is where he specializes, where you're talking him reading routes, where you're talking about his just making plays on the football, creating turnovers. 6 PBUs, 1 pick. He does that, you know. But then from there, man, the other things I like is this, man. When it's time to tackle, he accelerates through the tackle, accelerates through the contact, takes good angles to the ball. He's fundamentally sound when you're talking about his hand usage, pad level. And that's ultimately why he's so effective and why he's able to be so productive when he's getting off of blocks, even though he's not the biggest in terms of size, right? Not height, but like in terms of his body weight. I don't know how to put it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, he looks like a safety.
Yeah, he's built like I say. He's like super tall and he's tall and thin. Like that's what he looks like, you know? But the other thing that he brings to the table is this. He's not just a blitzer. He is a legitimate pass rusher. 9.5 sacks. You watch how he got those sacks this season. It's not free runs. It's not him just beating up on running backs. They line him up against a tackle. They line him up against a guard. He has moves. He rushes the passer. Backstory, when he was recruited to Bama, he was going there to play outside linebacker. Ultimately ended up being more of a special teams guy. Never really got a chance to crack that lineup. Transferred to Arkansas. And we saw the type of season he was able to put together this year. I think that he can challenge the offensive tackles with his burst. And when you talk about just his array of moves, and when you're talking about just the effort that he plays with, you cut the tape on, he finishes in the frame. And what I mean by finishes in the frame, when the play is over, you stop that tape, you count to see who the guys that are in the frame of this screen, because those are the guys that are running to the ball. Those are the guys that are finishing close to the ball. He's one of those guys that is consistently in the frame. And that's what you want, because it lets you know he plays with great effort. The plays matter to him. Even when he might take a bad read or something bad might happen, he is still going to chase that football down like a son of a gun. I simply put him as, he reminded me of just a taller, rangier Clay Matthews III. Think about him with him when he was in Green Bay, how he could go outside linebacker, get you 10 sacks. They started putting him at inside linebacker. He was getting 100-plus tackles there, picks and all that type of stuff. He gives you all of that, man. Now, his cons, he's lighter. He is 232 pounds, and he's listed at 6'5". He is thin. And that does affect him at times when you're talking about him consistently getting off of some of these blocks. But because he plays with such good pad level and technique, that does help him out. The issue that I could also see in terms of his man-to-man versus the top-tier tight ends are going to be the hips. That's the biggest reason why we say he looks like a safety, but he isn't a safety, because of the hips element. That's the difference right now when I'm watching him that I think separates why he, like, I don't love him against a Kelsey type. I don't love him against the elite tight ends. Everybody else, yeah. But those guys, it's like, I don't know if he's going to be able to do that. But there's a lot of guys that
I was
going to
say, my thought is, how many inside linebackers do you like against
right,
Kelsey?
That's the thing. It's not a lot. It's not a lot, man. And I just think at times, because of his small frame versus some of the bigger body offensive linemen, they can engulf him at times. I know I was watching that Bama game, and he did some positive things, and I was really liking how he was moving. But there were some times where it's like, you can see how he can get swallowed up a little bit. But as a whole, man, love his game, man. Excuse me. All right, next up on the list. Or did you had anything you want to tap in real quick, or wait till?
You brought up Clay Matthews, a version of him, right? Micah Parsons, light.
I mean, he plays inside, outside, sure. Yeah, you can go Micah Parsons, you can go Manny Lawson, you can go any of these dudes to play both. The reason I didn't think Mike is still short, like his compact, his frame. Drew, to me,
I mean not, light in terms of like he's a lesser version of Micah, but also a lighter version.
Yeah,
too.
He's built like, he reminds me of like talk about my dude Manny Lawson, the 6'5", 232, like rangy as heck, could play inside, could play outside, but it's just like Yeah, you like that game, though. I like his game, bro.
He's the most intriguing guy to me out of these three because even though he is a little bit more on the lighter side, he's not afraid to hit.
Nope.
Not at all. I mean,
nope.
He was dropping some of these dudes.
Uh-huh.
And then you're right, with the versatility and the pass rush with almost 10 sacks, like he's got the size, like this whole outside. New inside linebacker trend that everyone's trying to do. You think about
Tremaine Edmonds.
With like Isaiah Simmons and stuff.
You think Tremaine Edmonds. Tremaine is just a thicker version, right? This dude, 6'5", 232. Tremaine's what, about 6'4", 6'5", probably about 245. You know what I mean? He's like a little bit bigger in terms of just how his frame looks. Whereas with this dude, it's like that same type of thing. He's just a thinner version of it.
Like, how do you like him in coverage versus a dude like Tremaine Edmonds?
No, I like him a lot in coverage. Yeah, like I said, he checks off a ton of boxes. Absolutely.
Where do they got him? They got him in like the second roundish, kind of.
They said what I seen could be second, but he could slip into the first depending on what he does. And it also, like I said, it's still so early in this process. That's the other part of it.
Yeah, he would be a dope dude to have. This is what happens every time we start going through these lists. We're like, yeah, we could draft this guy at some point. Like how the guy from the Chiefs, remember we were talking about him, Brian Cook.
Yep.
We're like, hey, yeah, he could be a good guy that we picked late. Yep. You know, be a backup safety or something. He can make some plays, and then he's the one that gets the tip pass in the Chiefs Bengals game in the AFC Championship.
Absolutely.